Okay, so raise your hand if you feel like AI has ever gaslit you during a trial of testing a tool, but you never get around to testing it because you spend the whole freaking trial trying to set it up so that you can use it. Meanwhile, if you try to skip ahead and just jump right into using the tool, unfortunately, you're going to get a bunch of chat GPT-ish type responses that just sound terrible. It's a waste of time, and it takes so much more time trying to fix the copy instead of actually having a usable copy. And then on top of everything, now you get a little alert that says, hey, are you ready to upgrade? No, I don't want to upgrade, and I don't want to even keep using the tool. But we don't have those problems out here in these ClarityScribe streets. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to get your tool set up. And this video is going to take less than 10 minutes. However, I have a cheat code for you, and these are going to be your AI power prompts. If you use the QR code on the screen, or you can click on the link down in the description, then that will give you the prompts that you need, especially if you've been using like ChatGPT or Claude. That way you can just paste these into that tool, siphon all that information out, and then even speed ramp this process that much more. Let's hop over into ClarityScribe and I'll show you. All right, so here we are over into ClarityScribe. Now, the very first prompt is going to be something that you can just type in. You can put your business name, or if you have a brand or audience name. So for my company, it's the Publish Squad, so I would put that there. But for the sake of this one, we're going to build just a faux audience, and I'm just going to call that the ClarityScribe crew. But whatever tool that you're already using in GPT, or whether that be Claude, just go to that project and create a new thread. Or if you're using unified memory and it's just, saving everything that you use and type, then you can do that in just a brand new chat. So first one's going to be, what do you help people with? Super easy. Shouldn't be anything that it stresses too much over, and it pulls in the details and the layering of questions to make sure that we get a concise enough audience segment. And your second prompt is going to ask and fill in the details for the question, what do you know about the people that you help? And this is very specific to your audience. For my audience, we have an audience avatar name, and if you don't have one, don't worry. We'll get into that in the second part where we get into your audience insights. However, for this one, you can go ahead and add those details, but your AI should be able to pull that information for you about the people that you help. Now, once you click the next step, it is going to load in some details, so just give it a minute, but we're going to skip past this part so you don't have to wait with the magic of editing. So the system is done, and now it is asking about you and your customer testimonials. So if you don't have any customer testimonials, don't freak out about this. You can always add these later. So we're going to skip past that for this particular point so that you can move right along if you don't have those, and just see what kind of results that you can get so that you can move through the process. And it's going to load a little bit for all of the information that you have, and then we'll move on into some of your content. So if you don't have that ready, go get your best email, your best copywriting examples, because you're going to need them. All right, so the tool is all done. Now it's going to give you some information here. Now, if you have an audience member name, don't worry about if it is making up a different one. You can always change that a bit later, but it's going to give you some really, really detailed insights. So it's going to go into an audience overview and a description of who they are, what kind of buying triggers that they have, really get into some details when it comes to the detailed avatar. But if you don't like what it's producing, or it's producing something that isn't quite accurate, one of the things that I do like about this is that it can improve on what it has. So, or just change it completely if you want to. So this little gear window here will repopulate that information. We're going to redo it and just see what it gives for another instance. But if you like it, go ahead and click Save Audience Insights. But I'm going to let it try again. Not that I read all of the details, because I think that one was pretty accurate, but just so you can see what that looks like, and then we'll move on to the next step. So it's produced some new results for us. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it has. So it changed it from Aaron to Sage. And so it's getting more details here. It still is going to give you all of the same sections so that you know. I highly recommend that you go through and read this, because you do want to make sure it is as close to right as possible. It may not be 100% right, but we do want to make sure at this stage that it is at least as close to right as possible. But, again, it's just some really good detailed stuff. So even if you have never gone this in depth with your avatar, this will help to fill in some gaps if you have them. But let's click on Save Audience Insights. It will load up that information and start to bake it into every tool that we use, but we already have the brand guide taken care of. So we're just going to dive a little bit deeper into getting to know you, your audience, and your brand. Now, in the process of going through some of these load screens, make sure that you don't click off the page so that you're not having to worry about it reloading. Now, you can go to other tabs and just make sure you leave that one open, but don't hit the refresh button. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Okay, so just make sure you give it a chance to load. As it gets towards the end, it'll take a little bit more time in the buffering period for some sections, so it's not broken. You just need to give it a few seconds. So the tool is done loading in all of those details. Now it's time to really refine it, and this is where I like to do a little bit of a cheat method here, which is to open up the voice recorder on ChatGPT, something like that. You don't have to hit enter, but I'm using that to capture my raw speaking voice. So if you don't have emails, that's fine. Just talk how you normally would talk into how you would like things to be, or how you would like that vibe and that essence and that feel. Now, I've already had some emails drafted for this particular avatar, this audience, and this brand. So I'm just going to paste these in here. I do have 3 different ones for this one. You can use just one, but it will work with as little information as you can provide it, like a couple sentences down to the full email. So I like to give it the full shebang and go from there. Your very next prompt is going to ask, how would this brand behave if it was at a party? And really think about this as if it is a breathing entity, not, just some stuffy brand with, it just doesn't feel like anybody or even you. So if it's just you're a solopreneur, solo entrepreneur, or you are the face of your brand, then really think about how your brand is presented in public. So I have mine set up here so that the prompt will get really detailed and nitty gritty. And honestly, if you haven't considered this is a really great exercise to put into ChatGPT, to ask it, or even Claude, based on the way that you've had conversations and things, what's a great way to draw out that essence? Because it can pull up those subtexts from your conversation. So I'm going to add that information in here, and we will go on, and that should be your prompt number 4. And the next one is going to be, what would your brand never say or do? So these are the don't pass goes, and get really detailed here. The more detailed you are, the better. And I will give you a secret squirrel prompt here in just a bit to help you even just further elevate things. Now, I really don't like a lot of the just structured AI writing styles or voice styles. So I have it where I asked it to put in something that is really AI based, especially for the current times, because AI models update progressively, and we want to make sure whatever it's doing that is a hallmark sign of AI, we don't want it to do. And so I've added in a little bit that we'll put in the description for this video that starts off with, I don't let my writing sound like it came out of a prompt box. That means no, in today's fast-paced world, or no, let's dive in, and no, unlock your potential. So the unleash the unlocks of the world. This paragraph should get rid of that. So I'll put that in the description for this video, and you can copy and paste that to add to whatever it is that your already don't do's are listed for the prompt. And with that bit added, we can go ahead and click on create style guide. It does need to now put it all together in one polished packet, but just that little bit of sweetener on top will take care of everything else that it needs in order to create your audience. So once this is finished loading, I will show you what the results look like. And it is done. We finally have the entire thing crafted. And now when you sign in, this is what your dashboard will look like. It will have your brand name, your brand's core thesis up here. You'll have sections where you can add in those customer reviews if you didn't have those. So it's great that you can have that right here. And then you also have some other tabs up here for your content, your audience, your offers, your stories, as well as some quick actions here as well. And then you'll also have down here what I am really falling in love with, which is your story bank. And this is really going to help when it comes to writing emails. And just like that, you have completely set up your ClarityScribe dashboard so you can start getting it to work for you. Now, there are some things that you can do to further dial those in. In another video, we'll be diving into how you can actually do that, but let's get some more work done. So in the next video, we're going to be diving over into how to build out a welcome email sequence. It usually takes a lot of time, or sometimes it's just old and it needs to be refreshed, and you need to get that done again. So in the next video, I'm going to be walking you through how ClarityScribe will do that for you, and it literally will take minutes, not days. And so click on the video on the screen to check that out.